And a little salsa going. You belong in Miami, bro.
I do. If you're hiring, Omar, I'm ready. Like, get out of here. I'm going down there. We need a little more pump up. Hold on. There we go.
Look at you, dude.
That's good. I got a little playlist for my Spanish class every day. It's wonderful.
I'll share with you a playlist.
Send me on Spotify, or I guess Apple Music, whatever.
Apple Music. Come on, man. You know I'm in the ecosystem.
I know, but Spotify is more social. We all know this. Is there anybody else in the waiting room, Jennifer? We can.
You're good. You are good to go.
Okay. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Hello, hello. Good to see you. I see a lot of muted videos. I feel like I'm getting flashbacks from the COVID days, but no problem. Good to see everybody. We're here on the Teacher Talk. We got an exciting topic for you today. It's all about convention. We have these wonderful people from our convention committee. Miss Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. There you are, waving in her Brady Bunch window over there. And of course, Sheri from the STN team. They're here to work with us today and work through all of our questions on convention. We are so excited about this because we've been waiting on this for a while to kind of go through all the details. Thank you to Shonda, by the way, for posting all of that amazing information on the STN website. So if you are not familiar, first, I would suggest everybody to go to the STN website, studenttelevision.com, and then go over to convention and click STN 2022. All of the info that you might ever want and more is on that website. So I think Jennifer wanted to start us off with a little bit of blood flowing, energy vibing experiences on this video. So let's take a look.
We'll see. All right. So on the front of this Limitless is our video. Oops, let me rewind it to show you a little bit about our last convention 2 years ago.
Jennifer, your volume, I think, is off.
Hang on.
But how will you make the most out of yours?
Are you not hearing it? Are you hearing it now?
Now we're hearing it.
Yeah.
Now we're hearing it.
At the beginning doesn't have.
Everybody has a vision. How will you make the most out of your STN experience?
Here, it's all about how you tell it.
Hundreds of stories being created simultaneously, competing against over 3,000 other kids.
You're not going to get this opportunity anywhere else.
We're fortunate to have faculty that allow us to create content from across the country.
The content we produce and the connections we create brought together here in Seattle, Washington.
Many are here to make the best broadcast shows. Many are here to produce the best films.
We're here to find our best in the STN convention.
But how are you going to find your core values?
Inches away from the edge of the Seattle Space Needle, we pause to find our true north here at STN. Go. So how will you make this your best STN experience?
Awesome. Thanks for that, Jennifer. And I've got, I wanted to toss it to Omar really quick before we toss it over to the convention committee. Omar wants to share a little bit about just the magic of STN conventions and what we all can expect. Omar, you're on mute. You're fired.
I'm fired. I can't believe I just did that. Who's ready to come back? I'm so excited. STN, we're gonna have an in-person experience. The virtual part of it's gonna be amazing as well. But I mean, let's be honest. Everyone knows that when you're there and you're networking and you're talking to a bunch of other teachers, there's nothing like it. And I'm sure a bunch of you have a million questions about how it's gonna go off, how we're gonna, what are we gonna do. That's why we have Jennifer and Sheri here to answer any questions, and Shonda. Let's get it started, because I know, I got some questions I want to hear answered. So ladies, the floor is yours.
And as we pass it off, sorry, really quick, throw your questions in the chat as well if you don't want to raise your hand, and we've got Shonda and Omar and I will also help answer those too.
Well, hello, thank you for being here. I missed the last teacher talk, and I know there was definitely some questions about this, so happy to jump on and just talk it through together. I am excited that it worked out. Initially, we were just going to be virtual, and then the board decided to let us do both. So it's still a virtual convention, but some people will be doing it and participating in Long Beach. Others will be doing it in their own areas, and we still are looking to develop local hubs if that is something you're interested in gathering with other people. So before just going to general questions, I'm just going to share my screen and talk through the website, what's already here that you may or may not know. Let me close our chat. Okay, can everybody see that? My screen, Limitless. Okay. So on the studenttelevision.com convention tab 2022, there's a whole page with information. There's also now a scholarship tab. If you need help, if you have students that need help, pursue that. Internship application, we need help. I do on the ground in Long Beach. So if there's somebody that's quality and wants to invest in making this an amazing event, whether it's pre-production, helping with the virtual world, or on the ground, there's limitless opportunities to get involved. Speaker proposals, if you know somebody in the industry that would be a great speaker, that's an option there. And we will be having sponsors and exhibitors. But here's our main convention page. The dates: Long Beach, California, and virtual, February 18th through 21st, 2022. We should all know that by now. And some important documents. So here you'll see links to the popular contest list that went up today. Thank you, Shonda. So you find your details there, contest schedules, descriptions, rules and regulations, registration guide, travel planner, which is also what's posted over here to the left, and the scholarship application. COVID, that's a big hot topic, and I'm sure we'll discuss it tonight. But we do have phase 1 of the STN COVID convention plan already there, linked for you. We anticipate that'll continue to be updated as things change. And we also have a link to the Long Beach COVID guidelines. So that's things beyond our control, but in order to go into the Long Beach Convention Center, these are the things that STN and all attendees will need to follow. Travel information, Long Beach area maps are available, local transportation, things to do in Long Beach. So I'm just going down the right first, and then we'll go to the left. Then World Strides is a travel partner that we've had in the past. I've enjoyed getting to know them. I've never worked with them in person, but some great people, and to really just take the pressure off and help you protect your trip. But I think the best person to speak to that would be a teacher that actually has used their resources. So I wanted to just throw it to Ben and get some feedback on what World Strides can do for our affiliates. Ben?
Yeah, so I would say about 9-10 years ago, I used to plan all these trips just like you guys do. And I'd bring 30-40 students to the trip, and I'd spend my prep periods, my weekends planning the flights. I would plan all the places that we were going to go, book all the restaurants. And a buddy of mine said, you have to try World Strides, because it's like having your own private assistant who is going to do all this stuff for you. So the one who we use is Gwen Shackelford, and she is amazing. She is like, when you get to the airport, she's the first person you see when you come off the airplane. She guides you to the luggage. She walks you over to the bus. She makes sure that you get on the bus. She then every morning she meets you in the hotel lobby. She's the first person you're gonna see when you walk downstairs. So all the stuff that is really, really hard with planning and scheduling and doing STN is taken care of by Gwen and by World Strides. Your job is just to get the students ready and to get them excited to go on the trip. So I would strongly recommend that you reach out to Gwen. She is someone who is going to treat you right, is going to take care of you and the students, and take that pressure and stress off of all that planning that you need to do as far as like the airports, the travel, the commuting from the airport to the hotel, to your dinners. She'll schedule all of it.
Sounds amazing to me. And the travel protection. I know that World Strides was instrumental in DC when people were on the ground and things had to change immediately. And those teachers that had her help probably had some reduced stress. So in these times, it seems like a win to go ahead and have them help you. I'm going to go back up. Thank you, Ben. Back here. So now we're switching to the left, just the overall planner to help you, which you guys should have received last week. But in case you didn't see it, I know you're bombarded with emails. It's still here for the website. But just in general, this is about what this amazing convention will cost. Registration is $100 per student for the virtual convention. That doesn't matter where you do it. It's $100 per student. Teachers, also $100, and chaperones, we know you need help. We went ahead and reduced that rate to $50. So this up here includes sessions, ceremonies, and then contests are a little different. So Crazy Eights is $100 per team. And then Shonda, are you listening? Do we lose her?
Yes, I'm here. No,
I
I'm here.
wanted to clarify the contest price, the $20.
So
Per
It's just-
student or per contest?
oh, it's per student. It's per student. So in the past, the reason we did the two separate prices is because we may have students who there were just a variety of scenarios, but they may not be participating in contests. So that's why it was always separate. But generally, most of the students are entered in a contest.
Right. We have our hotel is 203. So you've seen the rate 199, but that was not the tax. So we went ahead and put the tax on here. So everybody knows that's all inclusive. You can have up to 4 people in a room. We have 5 hotels in the area that are walking distance or a tiny little shuttle that Long Beach provides. So all good proximity. I will release that booking grid to make your reservations once people have registered. So then here's your closest airports, travel partner, Gwen at World Strides will make your life easier. So here's an approximate cost if you're going to Long Beach. Obviously, if you're just participating virtually, then those costs are lower. However, if you do decide to do a hub, which could be fun, maybe you'd still take your students to a local area. I know there's people outside Tampa looking to do one, Hawaii is looking to do one, Washington, DC. These are some locations I've heard that are wanting to gather. So there might be some cost there for travel, or if you choose to stay in a hotel, but everybody has limitless opportunities. That's what's great. So then over here on the schedule, subject to change, but this is the general overview. That Thursday is when a lot of people will arrive, February 17th. So we'll have registration and check-in open. This will also include your COVID check-in, because when teachers arrive and students, once you're cleared, everyone will get a wristband for the weekend. So this is when we say check-in, that will also include that component. 6 to 7:30, we want to do a teacher meet and greet. Your awesome member committee hosts, Zach and Omar, know how important it is to make everybody feel welcome. And the networking is one of the best parts of STN. So they're planning an event for you that Thursday night that you won't want to miss. Friday, February 18th will be registration open again all day because people are coming in at different times. So 8 to 5. Then we have Crazy Eights from 9 to 5. I forgot to say, but these times are all Pacific times. 9 to 5 Crazy Eights, 6 to 6:45 opening ceremony, and eat in the midst of that. There'll be concessions open. There'll be food trucks popping around. Everybody's gonna have opportunity to take care of themselves. And then if you are in Long Beach, you could certainly eat after. There'll be plenty that's open. Saturday, the 19th, similar schedule, but 9 to 4 with contests. 10 is when our college and vendor area is going to open. So we have a lot of people that want to come share their resources with our teachers and students. And then in the afternoon, we're going to have sessions. You're not going to see as many sessions as you have in the past. And we want to keep those in the afternoon so that students don't have to choose necessarily if they're doing a contest or that. Excellence Awards will be broadcast and filmed together from 6 to 7:30 on that Saturday night. Then Sunday, contests again from 9 to 4, the college vendors again, and then sessions. Nothing that night. A local hub might decide to do some event. You might, if you're doing it just with your school, you might decide to do a dinner or something. There might be some options in Long Beach for people to gather and have fun. Those things are still in the works. And then Monday, bright and early, is our closing ceremony where we pass out all those hard-earned awards at 8 a.m. Pacific. And that's the gist. We have scholarships available. I'll keep saying it. We would love to help get people there. Money shouldn't be an obstacle. We will find a way. We want people to participate and just reach out to me personally. So I'm going to stop there and we'll just open it up for questions. I do need to run and get my charger before I lose you. I will be right back, but you're in good hands with Jen and the rest of these people. I'll stop my share. And again, so if you want to pop a question in the chat, or if you just want to raise your hand, we can.
What hotels are we going to stay? What hotels will be utilized?
There's 4 different hotels. There's the Hyatt. Hyatt is where the main, if you can get in the Hyatt, that's like the closest walking distance.
Okay.
But across the street, the Westin is not as close, but like literally it's right there. They're all within walking distance.
Okay.
There's also the Renaissance, right? And then there's one more, Sheri, I
There's
forgot.
Renaissance, there's actually 5. The Renaissance and Courtyard is one contract, but so there's 2 different hotels. So Westin, Hyatt Regency, Hilton, Renaissance, and Courtyard Marriott. Please do not reach out to them and try and book. You will not get the STN rate if you don't go through our room block. So I'm happy to let you know that so you can get the gist of it on the map. I know you guys want to plan. They're all great locations. The whole convention center is right down by the water, by the beach. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So pull up a map, get familiar, but you really can't go wrong with any of them. And when you register, you will be sent the form with which you can reach out to the hotels directly, or you can reach out to Gwen at World Strides and she'll do it for you. So every hotel has a point of contact and an email, and the schools will book directly with them, but you will be required to put your convention invoice number at the top so they know you get that rate. Okay, I really am.
It's the same for all of them?
Yes.
And it looks like Lisa put a question. Is it $20 per contest or 20 for all? Each student can only register for one individual competition. So the $100 registration is for STN. Any kid can compete in Crazy 8 if you're doing Crazy 8, but each student can only register for one individual competition. They can be a part of a team, a smaller, but just if you haven't gone. So each kid will pay $120 if they're going to compete. Does that help?
Yep. Thank you.
Any other questions? Oh, yes. Eric.
Hello.
Hi.
Just a question for food. Like, I'm just wondering about like on-site. Is there a lot of places around? Just don't know the area. I don't know if there's anything listed there. I didn't get a chance to look at what came out today, but was there any indication of whether I got kids that are going to be like looking to scarf down food at all times of the day. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I would definitely look on Google Maps. I've been there. So, and then, my school, we're right down, we're an hour and a half away. So I've been to Long Beach. I have that beauty of knowing, but there is tons. It's probably the best, I think, of all the STNs I've been to in quite a while. And I've been to like 15 or 16 of them. You have, I think there's In-N-Out, I know, right, Omar? That one's right nearby. In-N-Out. For those of you from outside of California, big deal. For us inside, it's like,
5 minutes away.
Yeah. There's an islands right across the street there. And when I say across the street, I mean, like, literally it's like I can walk to my neighbors. It's that close. You also have the more expensive Yard House across the way. You also have Hooters, FYI. You have Chili's, you have Olive Garden. There's so many places around there. As far as fast food goes, there's, I think, some Subways. There's so many options. I know in the convention center where the actual convention will be, there is a food. I don't know if that will be there, but I think it is. And they're going to have their own food. It'll be a little pricier.
We're going to be able to bring stuff in like in the old convention. You know how schools would get together, you'd have mothers who would gather food together, or is there going to be rules about keeping distances and stuff like that?
Well, this isn't the same that you and I are used to. There's no we're not doing editing rooms. Again, for those that have been, this is a very scaled down. The whole goal is to get opening, closing ceremonies and film excellence together. That's really it. And every time we're doing that, the kids are going to have their masks on because it's indoors and we're LA County. So Long Beach, but it's LA County still. Food is, basically we're not going to be networking and intermixing with other schools is really the intention. You can do whatever in your hotel rooms, but I wouldn't recommend personally intermixing, but that's just my personal belief. I usually get like a room that my kids stay in and that's it. But outside you can do whatever. That's really, but it's not the same. What other questions?
So I was curious about the pro sessions. Do you know who those are going to be yet?
No. No, we are scaling it down. We're not going to have as many. The goal is to have, we're being in Long Beach, which is near Hollywood, is to try and get more film and broadcast, not just one. They are going to be shorter sessions. We have, if you look on the time frame, they're going to be 45-minute. Like last year, we did 45-minute sessions. They're going to be mainly in the afternoon because for those of us, I don't know, a lot of our kids, they're doing their projects in the morning, and this way in the morning they can help film, which you can do. And then when the kids are editing, there is no edit room. We're not doing edit rooms this year. They're going to have to edit on their own, and hopefully, hopefully teachers know not to cheat. Is let the kids fail. That's the best place to let them fail is at STN. I can definitely vouch for that. And then in the afternoon, we will have 3 different pro sessions on Saturday and 2 on Sunday, and then college fair throughout the day, both Saturday and Sunday.
So entries are going to be online like last year. You just drop in a folder.
Upload, yeah.
So Eric, did you have a question? And then Brian?
Okay, yeah, I guess so in follow up with that, of course, so is the upload just whether you're on site or off site?
Yes.
That's both. Just wondering if there are places to gather on site if we don't have the editing room, just trying to, I hate running in and out of hotel rooms so much, like where, it's kind of odd, but like when you're running into a student's hotel room trying to like say, hey, how you doing on this edit? Just wondering if there's like places like, there isn't an editing room. What do you do for like crazy eights and stuff? Just curious.
I personally will be getting like an extra room or a suite if you can. I don't know how many suites a lot of the places have. And then that's really something I've set up, but that's something my ASB director taught me years ago, is that's where all the equipment is. And that's just kind of what I do, but that costs money. My program raises money for that. So if you haven't done that, that's not the best, but if you can get an extra room and you just make that your team room, I call it. And that's a room that everyone kind of can go to.
Well, and I can answer, in the past, we've had the option to have a table or not have a table.
Yeah.
And so eventually we love the environment of that, having all of that, we always called it the bunker years ago. And so we were all in there and the energy in there is great, but because of COVID and things, that's why we're not doing the edit rooms. And so my recommendation is, I know there were years that my Crazy Eights teams were editing in their rooms. So if you had like two main students who are editing their contests or whatever, then they could edit in their rooms. There's also going to be places around where I'm sure they could sit outside to edit, or I just don't know about rooms that are going to be available inside. That's something that we could maybe look into, to have a space where you could go in. That's something we'd have to talk to the convention center about, though, given the guidelines that we have to follow. So.
Right, there, it's a huge place. There's a mall nearby, there's coffee shops. And then the 5 hotels are closed, so there's lobbies to the hotels. The convention center does have a big lobby in the promenade, which is our main area. So the internet would work there, but it's just not very private, and people will be coming and going. So as Shonda mentioned, the big decision there was just mostly for safety and not putting people together any more than we need to, and just considering it a virtual convention. Some people could be editing in their bedroom. Some people might be on campus. Some people could be in a hotel. So just allowing you to have limitless opportunities. But we certainly have space inside the convention center, some rooms that we're holding on to right now, just so other people can't even book near us. And it is something we could talk about based on attendance, and also based on just the status of COVID and health protocols at that time. So you may see that open up indoor, but I would just definitely pursue the other options of hotel rooms or things like that. And you can upload from anywhere, so you don't have to run back to the convention center, drop off that flash drive, although it sounds like I'm going to miss out on seeing the excitement of that. But you have a little more flexibility in the location, at least.
Thank you. I know, just with like in past years, we've been able to finagle a room, like, you know, like a lobby, or sometimes in a pinch, a hallway, where we're able to kind of congregate. But I'm guessing with like COVID, that's not going to be really an option this year, because it's just, you know, I don't think they're going to want us to congregate in some of their common areas as much. That's why I was asking.
Right.
So Jen, you did mention like being able to get a suite, but like usually the room block is kind of like dictated to us by like STN. So just wondering, is there a method to do that?
I booked it last year. I booked it a year in advance, like with my own Hyatt. Like it's just, I'm a planner, and it's just what I do, and I love planning. So it's just, I've learned over the years that it's just nice to have a common room. It's a really expensive suite this year, though. I told the kids, and so they raised money for it, and so they know they have to, you know, they're paying for that. So it's kind of our home away from home. It's just a great thing that I learned over the years, that that way boys can't be in girls' rooms, girls not in boys' rooms. There's no excuse for them to be anywhere. And if they're caught, then mom and dad get them.
So Eric, the best way to go about that would be the hotel contact. So when you're sent the booking grid, which will look similar to what you guys have experienced in the past, where you put in the students per room and your invoice number, you could just ask that particular person, do they have something else available, a larger room? Because the ones in our block will be the doubles or the kings based on what you want. But the direct hotels will be the best way to go for adding on to your needs. And even with the sessions and things like that, you'll see that we're going to try and space those out. So the room might have a capacity of 200, but we might limit it at 50 to 100. So those are things we're still developing as we go. It's going to be.
Thank you for that. Jen, you mentioned, I think it was about boys not being in girls' room, girls not being in, and that would be something that I considered probably back in 2014. In 2020, my Board of Education decided that every student had to have their own bed. So we went from going from 4 people to a room to 2 people room. And, you know, so making sure that, you know, it didn't matter so much on the idea of, you know, who's with who. It had to still be gender based, but there were exceptions too. So it was an interesting year there in 2020, but it also doubled my costs for hotel. So going from 4 people to 2 people,
that's crazy.
So the Board of Education realized that they were demanding this and forked over the money for
Wow.
that year. However, going into this year, we are now asked to fundraise in addition, or making up the cost on our own. So it's a little bit more for us this year, and in addition to going to West Coast. So, but I appreciate all you guys' input. I'm hoping that this is going to be a great return back.
It won't be the same. We're just going to keep telling everyone that, but we're trying to do, we've got a great committee and they're doing everything they can to make it a good experience as best we can during COVID. So, Brian, did you have a question?
It was Eric, went over most of that, but it didn't sound like there was, if we found a spot, a corner in a lobby or in a convention center, there's no guidelines against your school congregating in that area for the weekend, is there?
I don't think so, Sheri.
Not yet. We actually have access to certain rooms, and with that comes the lobby area outside of it. I can try to pull that up. So I'll double check.
Well, and I will tell you, like, the convention site itself is huge. And I'm sure if you did some, and I don't know if I can say this, Sheri, but like, there's lots of probably hidden places in there that you can find to edit. That probably, it's whether or not you can get the internet to where you're going. But I mean, there's so many places you could go edit as long as you can get on the internet. And I don't think they're going to, as long as your kids are wearing a mask, that's the only thing. As long as they got masks on, no one's going to say anything. And they have
the sessions are in person. Is that correct? But they're also being zoomed virtually. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep, so go ahead, Jen.
No, yeah. So it'll be kind of like this. I'll be in here, and there might, like, if I'm a speaker and I'll be in one of our rooms, and there might be 40 to 50 kids spaced out. And then we're also going to record that and put that Zoom. I think we're going to try for live, right, Sheri?
We're going to try for live.
Okay.
So opening ceremony, excellence awards, all of that would have cameras, which is so popular these days to just live stream, most likely to our YouTube. And people can watch it then, or then, yes, they're recorded and just shared after. So here, what you're looking at is the promenade. This big picture is where we will be inside. See how close the water is? Isn't it exciting? I am from Southern California, so I'm partial, but I think it's great. So this is our building. People will be lining up out here where it says Long Beach, entering in this direction. This is the downstairs. So we will have registration inside here, and these little squares are where vendor booths will be downstairs. But this lobby out here to the right is ours as far as STN. And then that picture right here, like this whole long space, there's little benches and things like that. I mean, I don't know how long you'd want to be there. That's just more about the comfort. But this is the layout of where we are. So this is downstairs, check-in, STN store, and then you go upstairs. We have the floor right above it, and that's where our grand ballroom is. And these are where I'll zoom in a little bit. Grand ballrooms where the major sessions will be, the general opening, things like that. And then all these other rooms are where you'll see the pro sessions and those types of things. So this is what I'm talking about. If one of those weren't full and we decide to open up some of this with tables for editing, this is where it would be on the second floor, but that just remains to be seen. And also, going back to what Jen said, it's not going to be exactly the same. So we need people to keep in mind that the expectations are a safe event, a scaled back event. We were lucky that the board was willing to let us come at all to Long Beach. So we want to put safety first, also just resources, protecting the resources of STN and not overspending. And also just trying to do as much as we can there in person that we can share with everybody else that wasn't able to travel or didn't feel comfortable traveling. So we don't want to have tons of extra parties and perks and things like that. What other questions do you have?
So this is, I just joined STN about a month ago, and
welcome.
Trying to determine whether whether this is good convention to try to, bring the kids to, or if I should like maybe do virtual this year. I mean, like, I'm trying to figure out what the advantages are of being there and spending all the money because we're all the way in Ohio.
So I'm sure
Omar, Jen.
Omar can answer that. Go, Omar.
If your kids go to one STN, you will be able to get things out of them that you've never been able to do before. So go experience it, and then just tell them next year, we learned this year, next year's going to be bigger and better, and you will see your kids run through a wall for you. It's honestly, it has changed my whole program. Ever since we started going STN, my kids are just, whatever I ask them to do, they'll do for me because they want to go on this amazing experience.
And I'll piggyback with Omar. I think I'm going on 16 years going to STN with my students. And our first one, we literally didn't win a thing, and it was great. Like, they learned so much from that. And so, yes, it's not going to be exactly the same, but it's just, I think being around like-minded kids who all have the same like passions that your kids have is like really eye-opening for these kids. And I think that's always fun. And I know we're not going to have that same, but we are still going to have the opening and closing ceremonies. We are still going to be doing some things that are there. And I think the biggest thing is getting them out of their backyard. I thought virtual was painful for me personally. Like it was just like, I couldn't do it again, which is why I kind of advocated with Sheri and said, I want to do it in person as best we can and as safe as we can. And I saw also the change in my own students' behavior when I told them, hey, it's going to be in person. And yeah, I do luck out. I'm an hour and a half away versus obviously a plane trip away. But I just think if you can do it, if you are comfortable traveling, a lot is gonna fall on you. I'm not gonna lie, as far as none of us have done this in COVID yet. This is the first time. So we're gonna be kind of addressing a lot of issues through the next couple months. But I just think if you're looking from the teaching perspective, it is such a great experience for these kids. They are gonna tell stories in Long Beach that they are not gonna be able to tell back home. And it's so awesome to see.
Okay, that helps. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, and Lisa, if you haven't been connected with Omar and Zach yet, they run our membership committee and they have a mentorship program, especially for new teachers. And I'm sure they'd love to follow up with you. If you want to drop your email in the chat, or Omar or Zach, if you want to share yours, they could definitely answer any questions. And I'm excited. I don't know that I could have handled another virtual one.
Right.
I would have, but I started this job during COVID and have been behind a computer. So to me, that's an option for some people that can't travel or enjoyed it. We had a lot of people that really liked it. We're finding that we had people joining virtually that had never attended a convention. Maybe they were intimidated, maybe they couldn't travel, whatever it was. So now we're able to provide both. But from what I've heard, if you're able to have it, you really can't go wrong. And the energy, meeting people, and yes, it will be a little bit scaled back, but I would think that's probably good for the first one, that it'll be smaller. There'll be like maybe 1,000 to 1,500 versus 3,000. So in that sense, kind of a good way to be exposed and then build on that.
Okay.
Speaking from the middle school perspective here, if you have middle school teachers, I mean, I would highly encourage them to go. My kids go every year, and it's the one thing that before we even leave, they want to be back. They can't wait for the next year. Jen knows this because a lot of her kids are my kids, and
I wish I had more.
They've probably been talking about it since they were freshmen. You know, they want to go to these conventions, and it's a great motivator, especially in middle school.
Yeah. And I'll tell you that my biggest thing, and that's why I pushed it, is it's not about winning. I know some people would disagree, but it isn't. It is great when they do win, but it is one of those things that, like, I've asked kids in the past, what did you learn more from when you won an award or when you didn't win one? And there was definitely years, and they always say in the professional industry, oh, that year we didn't turn this project in on time was when I learned, and I now know this. And so I don't know, it's just real world lessons we can't teach in the classroom. We can't let kids fail. STN can, and the kids will learn from it. And it's just, yes, you can do that virtually, but I will be honest, you have to be okay with traveling during COVID as a teacher. And I'm not going to lie about that. I have to be okay with that. I've got some colleagues in my district who are not, and they're not going to, they're going to do it virtually, which is why we have both components open. So just make sure you have to be okay with traveling with kids. I know I am, and I think it's something that we're gonna figure it out together. Really quickly, Zach, did somebody ask if there a cap on the contests? I want to make sure I got that question before it got. It says right here, somebody may have asked, is there a cap on any of the contests? Oh, you mean cap, like, are we gonna limit them? Is that what you're asking, Zach?
No.
Okay, yeah. So they're not, we used to limit them where you could only have so many people sign up for it. You can only have your students sign up for one individual competition. So just make sure you know that. But before, they would only have like 50 allowed to do music video. So people would scramble to try and register the first day it came out. You don't need to worry about that. So take your time, put your students in. You do have to know what you want your students to be a part of on the individual competition. When you register, you have to put their name, what competition they want to be a part of, and then the next kid. So, but we didn't mention this online, Sheri, but you can make changes, yes, until January 15th. So if a kid signs up for music video and then they're like, yeah, I don't think I really want to do it. I want to do movie. We just want to limit those changes because that's a lot of work on STN. But in the past, it was $20 a change from day one. And I thank you, STN, for getting rid of that. And anything after January 15th, there will be a penalty.
What can I
15th or 14th?
You're welcome.
What's that, Shonda?
January 14th.
January 14th, my
It's
bad.
whatever the Friday is. I probably said it
January
wrong.
14th.
At any rate, I'm not here to make anybody's life difficult. We know these are different times than they were prior when those things were in place. So we're adapting, we're changing, and we certainly want to protect my time, Shonda's time, and Travis, who's our wizard behind the scenes. However, that being said, right now, you'll be able to come and go in your dashboard, and we don't have to do anything for that. But there does have to be some planning, right? People are getting t-shirts. No matter where you participate, they'll either be shipped to you or your hub, or they'll be handed to you. In Long Beach, lanyards are going to be back. Everybody wanted lanyards, you know, it's those memories. But we need to have a time where those things are set so that we can move forward, right? So after that, if changes are made, there will need to be a cost, but we want to be flexible. We don't want people rushing, stressing out this Friday. Some people have to jump through hoops. I've been getting a lot of emails, just, you know, my principal's requiring this, my district's requiring this. Can you help me? So we know it's going to take time, and we want you guys to be at peace and feel comfortable. And also you can cancel at the last minute. That's the beauty of registering with one rate for this virtual convention, no matter where you do it, because you can end up not coming and you could still participate in the same contest. We're not doing separate contests. Everyone is competing against everyone. And the hotels, you can cancel up to 72 hours prior, just like a regular guest would be. So there's some really flexible terms that have been offered to us by Long Beach and by STN. So we want to make it easy for you, but we also want to be able to plan the logistics when the time comes.
Eric, did you have a question? And then Brian?
Great, thank you. I just want to make sure I understood first, and then I'll ask a question. But like when you said there's no limit to, like, can you have more than, like, say I have like a bunch of kids that want to do reporter stand-up. Can I have more than one group for reporter stand-up? Okay, no. So it's only one contest per affiliate, right?
Well, no, it's one.
Depends.
Okay. Go, Shonda.
Sorry.
No,
it depends on the contest. If you look at the schedule grid, you'll see that there are some contests where you can enter 2 entries. So whether that's students or small teams. So you can see all of that, but most of them are still 1 entry or 1 team per category per school. It's the cap where, remember where schools could only enter 12 contests. There used to be a cap on the amount of contests a school could enter. And it used to be 12. We don't have that cap anymore. So you could enter, and the reason being is because we have large schools who are bringing more students and need space, you know, for them to compete. And so we just decided that we were going to, and it was also a judging issue as well, but we are working past those and having more judges available so that we can get through more entries. And we wanted to be able to offer as many contests as possible to everyone. So most of them, like I said, though, are one team, and then there's a limit to how many students on each team. Some are 4, some might be 6, some might be unlimited. So just take a look at that contest schedule grid, and it will have all of the details on that.
I'm sharing that now, and it's on the
And it's
convention
also on
webpage.
contest descriptions.
Yeah.
And I always print the contest descriptions. That's the weird side of me. Literally, I print everyone, I go through with the kids, and in the contest descriptions, Shonda's done a great job. It literally will say, one team of 4 students, one team of unlimited. Do we have unlimited, Shonda, right? Some of the film ones are usually unlimited.
Like, yeah, I think some of them
Yeah,
are.
like music videos usually unlimited. And so, especially since we're not doing edit rooms this year, it's a little bit more like that. But if it says like one team of only 1 student, like there's the one, it says 1 student of 2, then you can only have 2 students, and those 2, that's their one and only contest they can register for. But they can still help out, a lot of people didn't know this, with other teams, as long as they're not doing the editing and the filming. Like they can help be actors or whatever, is what we kind of I called it. Does that help?
Thank you. Thank you, of course. And Shonda, still waiting those beaver nuggets, by the way.
I know, I've thought about you, I swear. It's just been crazy around this place.
Yeah.
You'll get them, I promise.
Whoa. Beaver nuggets.
The other question I had was at closing ceremonies, is the idea still to hand out awards at closing ceremonies, or is that like because last year during virtual, it was like a week later and it was a really nice program. Don't know what your intentions were. Just wondering there.
I think our plans to do it live, well, just like we did a couple years ago. And the goal is actually to, go kind of world. Well, we won't share a lot of that. We're trying to get it. We're trying to get it where we're going all around the United States. So yes, it is going to be live. And if you're there, you will take home. Hopefully Sheri says you'll take home your award because she doesn't want to mail it.
Right. So we want that part to be as organic as it would be in the previous years, that you build towards it and you get it. And we had contemplated both versions because yes, that would give us more time. But if you came all that way, you'd probably want to know. So we're gonna go for it. And the Hawaiians are gonna wake up early, but they're good sports. And the East Coasters are gonna have to stay up late for opening and excellence. But that's part of it. That's part of the no sleep, the camaraderie. So yes, we're going to be doing that. We will still pursue student presenters. And that's something Jen was alluding to, but we are trying to make it work where you don't have to be present to be a presenter. So we're working with our technical team, again, just to be as inclusive. So, we might go to Andrew's school and he might have some people present an award, things like that. Go to Hawaii, go wherever. We're gonna try to include as much as we can while still running a show we can manage technically. And
okay.
actually,
Let's get to Brian, and then I have Cody has a question, and then I'll get to Lisa. So Brian, what's up?
This might just be for California schools, but is it worth pulling kids out of school on Thursday, or having them go to school on Thursday? And then like when would you recommend people get there on Thursday to get the most of it?
I am planning to go. My students actually talked me into going Wednesday night, and that's just me, but I was planning to go Thursday morning. I think with what we still don't know, I don't want it to get in the COVID, but you will have to go in when you check in, and I don't want to go to details because we don't know them all yet, but you're going to have each kid will have to show their vaccine and their COVID or their negative COVID test. And that's going to take longer than what we're normally used to, which is just checking, here's my name, here's my information, I walk away. So the kids, I mean, it's a 4 day, is your kids, they get a 4-day weekend though, anyway? So it's.
No, we have the next week off.
Oh, I see. Yeah, see, we get Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So my kids are like, we want to miss 1 day. So that's why I'm like, all right, we're missing Thursday.
So Thursday is worth it to get there early.
yes, anybody that can be there Thursday and get themselves checked in, and then you can go to this awesome teacher mixer. That'll be, it'll just be less stressful, I'd say, to roll into it because there's just unknowns. It's the first time we're doing it this way. So the sooner the better, if you can.
Okay, so Cody put into the chat, what time does contest registration open on Friday? We'll start with the question one. What time are we doing registration, Sheri? 10?
No, it's, we're going live at 6 a.m. Pacific.
Well, he's saying contest registration though.
Well, you're talking this Friday, right?
Oh, this Friday, my bad. I wasn't even-
Registering, you're talking convention registration, is that
Yes.
correct? It opens
Yes,
at
yeah, Cody, is that what you're asking?
6 a.m. Pacific this Friday.
6 a.m. Pacific, yeah.
Yeah,
just
I'm
confirm that
asking,
with
yeah,
Travis.
I'm asking this Friday what time we can start registering for the contest.
So remember, you don't have to rush like we've done in the past, just so you know.
Okay.
There is no contest limit. There's no limit. You can sign up in a month and whatever contest you want will be there.
Okay. Yeah, my kids are just looking to get together and do it on Friday. They're
Oh,
excited.
fun. Yeah. And I believe all the hotel information will be sent to you as soon as you register, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
All right. And then Lisa, question.
Is, keep talking about this Friday. I haven't looked over this information well. Is there a deadline this Friday?
It's just opening. So registration will open on Friday at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Is that what it is?
Yes, and it'll remain open all the way until like late January or February, Lisa, so you got plenty of time.
Okay.
As of right now, we have registration closing January 14th at 5 p.m. Pacific. That is still, that is subject to change based on, other factors potentially, but that's what we have it set at right now.
And no limit for crazy eights? No, we can have as many, just 2. Are we doing 2 per school though?
No, there's no limit on that.
No limit. There you go.
Enter each one time.
Yeah.
One team, each category. So that being said, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I will plug while I'm on here. If you have professionals in the industry that you are friends with, or please send their name to me for judging, because the only way we're going to make this happen, because the cap has been the biggest topic of conversation that people have wanted to change. And the reason being is that we're restricted with the number of judges sometimes we can have, but we're doing things different. So please send me your professional. They have to be a professional in the industry. But if you do have any, please send them my way, and I will contact them about maybe becoming a judge for us. So, and share that with everybody.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Great minds. Great minds, because we are sticking our necks out there, Shonda and I and this whole committee, going on a limb, because that's what you guys want. That's what you've asked for. And logistics are an obstacle, but we think there's certainly an obstacle we can overcome with planning and with your help and with the right resources. So absolutely send them our way. They could come in person if it's anybody in the Southern California area that wanted to drive up for one day and judge for an afternoon. That's fine. We'll be trying to pull as many of our Hollywood resources as we can. I used to work there. Jen's got a lot of contacts, and we have board members that have been there. So we'll do that. And then also people can judge virtually, and they can be professional now. They can be retired. That's fine. And also we've been in communication with faculty. So say if you're teaching at USC, but you have that background, we would welcome those types as well.
Alumni, think about your alumni who are in the industry. That's our best. We would love, I think more than anything, we would love to have our STN alumni, our pros. And thank you, Omar, for the lengthy list I just was texted of judges.
Perfect.
You got like 3 or 4 alumni from West Broward and American Heritage in there as well.
I see that. Oh, and a Heat pregame host. I knew you'd throw that in there.
Yeah, and the judging things are going to change behind the scenes this time. There will be a training where we know the feedback is so important that there's just a lot of really neat things happening. And so to have more people part of that pool just pouring into the students, we know that that's valuable to hear what they did well, where they can improve, and people that know what they're talking about, and especially those that have a heart for STN.
All right, we have 3 hands, so I want to make sure we
go.
Our last one. So Paul, and then
I'll stay as long as you guys have questions.
Hi, I was wondering a while back, and when the convention was in LA, our students hit the streets and we were getting hassled by businesses, even though we were on the, city sidewalks because of film permits and such. And so we had this kind of like ping pong, hey, we're doing, like, if it was Crazy 8, we're doing news. We had to tell, we're doing news. And these guys are like, full on, we don't care, get out of here. We were like kicked off the streets, and it was a kind of a big deal. And I was just wondering if Long Beach is kind of the same way in terms of, requiring film permits when we set up, tripods and mics and reflectors and such on the sidewalks.
I doubt it, because they literally fought for us to come this year.
They begged.
We've met with every Long Beach tourism, Long Beach, everything. And I think it's going to be a lot better. I mean, I'm sure you're going to have that one or two business that you won't, but I think we will make sure, Sheri, that's a good point for us to make sure that we reach out to our contacts there and make sure that they know for those 4 days that there are going to be kids around. But I think they know. I mean, they literally begged us to, because when we first thought we're going to stay virtual, they were like, look, we'll do whatever it is. Tell us what you want. And so I think they want us there, and they're very happy for us to be there. But again, I'm going to go back to they've got to make sure they're wearing their masks and make sure that they're approaching them. And that's the biggest thing is LA County is we're one of the strictest ones. I've been saying this in day one, which is good. You got to wear the masks. And so that's the biggest thing. I don't foresee it as big of an issue, but I went to LA too. And I remember that was everywhere was a nightmare to film. I think Disneyland was honestly the worst. So.
Yeah, well, they're very film friendly, Paul, and going to do everything they can. So that's already been mentioned. We can provide even the affiliates with a list of, these are friendly places, but there will be permits, there will be those things. And I just put it on my list to just reiterate that and communicate it to all of you. But yeah, we literally canceled. You guys get the inside scoop because you showed up. Okay. So we sent the cancellation letter, and then it's good enough that we're just going to go for it. We believe in it. All of us that are here tonight passionately wanted this for ourselves and for you and for STN. So I think it's going to be a really great filming area, and it's kind of a nice bubble too. I mean, you're Southern California, so you've probably been there, but it's just really nice. So many resources within walking distance. It's even Anaheim. I feel you restricted in that area. And when we were looking at locations for this convention, we did Anaheim first on the Scout and went to Long Beach, and the resources are just amazing. And it's compared to Hollywood, it's kind of a sidebar. I want to say, rather than the A list, it's the B list, but not necessarily in quality or in resources. It's just Hollywood is Hollywood, right? How can you get past that? But Long Beach has a lot of neat things, and they don't have to always abide by everything that's within LA. So I think we're going to find it to be a really nice environment.
Yeah, that's great to hear. It sounds like they're much more, like, hey, come on in, we want to help you out, and we can work around it regardless. We did in LA. It's just, it'd be good. I mean, I would just, prompt my kids beforehand.
You want to be ready.
This could possibly happen, get ready. If it does, here's what you do. Yeah. Yeah,
you want to be prepared. And there's also going to be a pass for all of you. By basically flashing your lanyard, you'll be able to get special perks at all kinds of things throughout the city. So they're really excited to have us. Who's next?
Ro. Hi, Ro. What's up? Oh, you're muted, Ro.
Are we going to be able to pay our fees at the convention, or do we have to pay ahead of time?
Good question. That's you, Sheri.
I'm fine with having payments at convention, like has been done in the past.
Cody, question?
Yeah, Jen, you said that you guys were going out on Wednesday as well. We've already booked our flights. We're going out Wednesday and coming back on Tuesday, I think.
Oh, wow, you're staying extra.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, we're excited. But when it comes to booking the hotels, is that going to fall within the date range of the STN blocks, or is that going to be, are we going to be paying a different price for those extra days?
It should be, right, Sheri? They usually do.
They have extras, not as many. The concentrated peak days for them are 4 days. So the Thursday through Monday, basically. But I would say in that sense, the sooner you can reserve, then that would be good.
Okay, yeah, we're ready when.
They all have some on either side, and there you might need to be flexible and go to one of the ones, you know, if the first one didn't have everything you needed, maybe you choose the one that's down the block, but still just as nice.
Okay, yep, that works. Thank you.
Yep. And again, they really wanted us to come. All the hotels released every room block obligation. We do not have to fill any rooms. But I know, I'm so excited because we're gonna fill so many, and I know some of the hotels are gonna fill up and we're gonna have to pour over to the others, and it benefits STN as well, because not only are the rates really good, but each hotel is offering a rebate to STN. So $12 from every room comes back to STN to help pay for convention center costs and things like that, which is amazing for $199. So definitely ask. I think they will all work really hard to accommodate as long as they have the space. And that's part of why they wanted us to come as well. I mean, it's not like other big events are going to come book at this moment in time. Some business is good for the city. It's good for us to get together. I think we need it. So yeah, just definitely be vocal about your needs, and I think they'll do their best to accommodate.
Any other questions? Yes.
Hi, Dina.
Dina. Mhm.
Sorry, let me unmute. Hi, everybody. Just a real quick question again, Sheri, about passes, because I think that's the way that me and my students are going to go.
Session passes.
Yeah.
Sorry about the day pass.
The day pass for entering contests. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is something that won't be up by Friday. It's still in development if we can pull it off. And even that being considered is, I know it's been done. It's just logistics and capacity and resources. So maybe when we open registration, if we have this flood and we say, you know what, we're go for launch here, we're going to be good. Because I would love to make that happen. I know you and I've talked off the grid several times about that. So at this point, it's not going to be something you'll be able to register for Friday. I mean, if you did register at this point, you would just be doing it as the same price. And if you chose to only come for one day, that's something you could do. That's just a quick solution. But as far as an advertised, here's what it would be just for the day, that's something we haven't been able to tackle just yet.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I'm excited.
I'm getting there.
Good. Jen.
I'm there.
Jen's excited. You fought so hard for this.
I know. You know I'm excited.
Been a
It's
big round of
Monday.
applause.
Monday, double meetings. No.
I know. Yeah.
So, any other questions? Cody, is that a question still or just a hand still from last time? If not,
I think some turn on the salsa music, Omar.
I know. You want to sing us out, Omar?
That's Zach's music, man. He's got that Latin flavor in him.
Just a little dash.
All
I
right. Well, no.
I need some croquetas from Omar.
Oh yeah.
I'm super excited to meet a lot of you in person with a mask, I guess, right? We got to keep saying, but yeah. So if you can come, it'll be fun. We're all going to be there. Zach, Omar, and I are going to be there. So anyone else, and Sheri and Shonda. So it's going to be super fun. And if you can't, don't worry. It'll be just as much fun. It'll just be online. We'll say hi from here. All right. Then
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Homeboy needs some help.
What hotel are you guys staying at?
Oh no, someone's coming in now. The Hyatt. I am.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm trying.
Weston's really nice too.
Yeah.
It's
Paul's going to be at the Westin, I
the
think.
rooms are nicer. The nicest rooms are at the Westin, and it's almost as close. And there was, I should have said, there's no events happening at the hotels. So nobody's missing out on an activity by being in a different one. So, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Guys, have a nice evening.
See you
You too.
around.
Thanks for being here.
All right, any other questions? We've got Tina, and Ryan. Oh, I feel like I'm teaching again.
Is sleeping?
All right.
Oh, sorry, folks. I just got in here late. I think I missed this.
No problem.
Did you have any question?
Yeah, I'm a newbie to STN and wanted to, need to get going on hotel, all these things that I saw on there.
Well, what I would start with is looking at the contest with your students. That's the first thing I'd look at and start figuring out what your students want to compete in.
Okay.
And then on Friday, when registration opens at 6, you can register. You have to register each kid, and they can only register for one contest. And then once you register, you'll be sent a spreadsheet that you will then register. That will give you information on which hotel. And there's 5 hotels nearby that you can choose to go take your students to. And as we just said, that none of the convention is all at the Long Beach Convention Center. So it's not in one of the hotels, and they're all within walking distance.
Okay.
Ryan, I just put my email address there, and Zach and I are part of the new members.
Yeah, there you go.
If you need a mentor or any help, you could just email Zach and I.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, just send us an email.
Okay.
I just want to say I'm so proud of you, the team. I started this whole involvement before the convention started, when Dave Davis just dreamed it up, and I followed it all along. I'm involved with Film Ed Academy of the Arts, which is a huge, incredible program in Orange County. And I still stay involved with you as my priority and as a national. It's just, I'm proud of you for going through COVID and taking over and just all the stuff that happened. So thank you guys.
Thank you,
Tina.
All right. We'll see you guys. We'll see you there.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Great. Hey, and thank you guys. I'll jump out there, but I got that information, the email from you guys, and I need to, I'm just,
no problem.
I'm at the,
Ryan,
I'm
we're
at the
here
beginning
for
of
you.
this.
No question's a bad question.
No
Okay.
problem.
Okay. And one of the biggest questions I have is I don't know the logistics of how to be able to get to find, what is going to cost my kids and how many. Okay.
Did you look on the website? Look on the STN website, studenttelevision.com.
Mm-hmm.
Convention
Zach
tab.
and I are doing a teacher talk in a month on how to fundraise for STN.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I saw the initial cost, but what do we do about travel and hotel expenses, and what do I do about?
So Ryan, when you go to that convention tab and you scroll down, you can see the kind of the breakdown of costs and everything. That's sort of an estimation.
Okay.
You can choose to go through World Strides, which is on that same flyer there. World Strides is like a travel partner agency that works with you and your school and handles all your logistics. Several teachers have used them before. I'm actually thinking about using them myself. Or you book everything on your own.
Yeah.
It's whatever you fancy, but I think as someone who's traveled with a travel company with students, it's so easy to be able to say, here's my list of kids and here's what I want to do, and then somebody handles it for you and you just kind of show up.
Yeah, and I've done a bunch of travel with EF and other companies. I've gone to Europe and China and that sort of stuff. I just don't know if my numbers are going to be pretty small. I'm only going to have about 8 to 10, I think.
Okay, I would call Gwen on that list and get her feedback. And if not, you just book the flights yourself and the hotel. And then one thing we're doing, and Omar gave me this suggestion on the food situation. I'm telling the parents to give their own kids credit cards and stuff for food, because they're all competing at different times. So you're like sitting down for a meal, unless you want to do like one family meal or something before or after the convention. That's something to think about too.
And Sheri, we got to reach out to Step, because they have literally sponsored my whole team. So each one of my kids have a debit card, and I could deposit money into their accounts if they need it.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay. Hey, thanks so much, everybody.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
Ryan.
you.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah, Step is like a Venmo for kids.
that's awesome.
So yeah, before I used to hand them like stipends throughout the day, and I'd get back change and messed up receipts, and I'm like,
Oh,
not doing that anymore.
yeah, we just gotta get this open Friday, but I've had a big, me personally.